religions all around the world have got to find a way of respecting LGBTQ people and whatever other minorities that they don't understand. Because, whether you agree with someone's lifestyle or not, whether it's LGBTQ, whether it's Christian, whether it's whatever other lifestyle, you gotta respect that every group deserves human rights and every group deserves their own human rights. And I've kind of doing centrism, trying to entertain, what can religions do to actually progress and to develop in the modern day and become more progressive societies. And when I try to think about how I would advise them, I wouldn't actually want them to change their beliefs. I wouldn't want them to suddenly change overnight. I would be I'm trying to think of what ideas were there. It's just I was just saying, even if you disagree with a certain person's lifestyle, you still got to accept that they deserve their own human rights. And, you just gotta, even though, maintain, that skepticism of the LGBTQ and the trans stuff and stuff like that. Keep all that, but, find a way of respecting their beliefs, and they should also respect your beliefs in turn. We need to get into a society where everybody respects each other's beliefs. I would say again, but I don't think we've ever lived in that society, but we need to start respecting each other's beliefs. And being oppressive of certain groups, no matter what country you're in, actually contributes to the immigration problem. People don't want to live under controlling theocracies. LGBTQ people flee theocracies. I mean, religious people even flee theocracies. And stopping the discrimination of certain groups will actually contribute to lessening the immigration problem globally. For an added incentive. But religions have got to figure out how to still maintain their skepticism, but still respecting their need for human rights. I was trying to think of how can you be right wing, hard conservative Christian, and then also be homosexual. And I was trying to think of it's probably going to get a little bit crass, a little bit right. I'll try and see if I can not use the words. But just if you're going to be a Christian, one of these Christian on whatever you want to call it, let's call it hard Christian, and you want to be gay, you're allowed to be gay, you're allowed to be in relationships, but you're not allowed to have sexual penetrative intercourse. You're allowed to be in a relationship, but you just can't do the real thing, right? Maybe that's the future of being homosexual within these groups. And if you're not going to allow your child to transition socially, give them mental health support, still be there and love your child no matter what. Just be well, you're not going to do anything permanent to your body until you're 21, until you leave the house or whatever. But we're still going to love you and support you in the meantime. And, maybe if you leave the house and you go over friends, maybe then you're allowed to put a wig on or whatever. We need to kind of we need to get the ball. We need to find a way of helping religious people become more accepting of the LGBTQ. And another incentive as well is people aren't going to want to become a part of your religion if they think that you're all bigoted, right? They're not going to want to become a part of religion if you're being discriminatory to those groups, or if you're being discriminatory towards migrants or racial minorities. They're not going to be a part of your religion. So just this is a matter of survival when it comes to religion. So we've got to find a way of religions maintaining their beliefs and still accepting these people and their ability to have rights. I did just think of another thing I was going to say. All right, it's the reason why it would actually be a good thing to maintain their skepticism is for medical treatment when it comes to trans teenagers, because we do need people making sure that there's as much safety precautions as much as possible, and that should be the good faith Christian position, is about making sure children are as safe as possible, not banning things, not running to the government, but just making sure that the healthcare is as safe as possible for teenagers, and making sure that children before the age of teenage are not having vasectomies, and holding like hospitals to account, like, in an ethical and moral way, through criticism and healthy critique, and maybe together pro-LGBTQ, non-LGBTQ communities can get together to help make society safer for everybody, make medical treatment, make schools more accepting of every walk of life. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. Sorry I have to ask for likes and subscribes, but I need likes and subscribes. But I need more people watching my channel, share my videos, watching past videos. Please like and subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it. Let's help. Let's all respect each other. Let's help religion survive, and let us all create a progressive, conservative society, because that is the future. And I believe that if progressive conservatism becomes a trend in the future, it could change the world. I honestly do think it could change the world. If we got, countries that are like not progressing and developing to develop, it would mean, people no longer want to leave their countries. People want to stay in their countries if they believe their rights are being respected, if they believe that religions are progressing and developing. But anyway, it could all be good. And now that's the video. Um, and then I won't ask for the same things again. I've already done it once. But anyway, that's the video. I'll just say stay tuned to more content from the Pioneer True Centrism show. And let's change the world together, help religion survive, all this good stuff. Thank you so much. I'd really, really appreciate it.